Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, and Jeffrey Zekin. We need more Jeff.
We do.
I'm Don Armstrong, so glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live broadcast. And if you're listening on a podcast during the week, we thank you for that as well. All right, we're going to kind of switch gears here. Well, kind of switch gears, but we're also going to kind of go along with the theme that we started off at the top of last hour, and that is the EV thing. And we also kind of talked about trucks and commercial vehicles. Well, we got the guy at Ford Motor Company that knows more than any of us and the rest of the world when it comes to all of this.
We got a guy.
And his name is Raj Sarkar. Raj, good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Good morning, and thanks for the great introduction, and thanks for having me.
You bet. Well, so all-electric Ford E-Transit. So I've got to know all about it. I like the price range, so I'll let you start, and then we're just going to pop in some questions when they arise.
No, sounds good. So we're really excited about introducing the E-Transit all-electric transit van. And we did the initial reveal last fall, but we released some key news earlier this week in that we announced detailed pricing. So starting price of $43,295, which we think is a really attractive price point. And we've opened up our registration site. So now customers can log in, share their key information, and they can see all the key information by configuration. So the pricing, the range, and then they can share their interest and their volume level. And that's going to help us as we set up to launch the vehicle later this year.
Now, these vans, they're kind of like the trucks, are they not? Don't they come in different sizes and different load carrying capacities?
Configurations, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will offer 8 different configurations of the van. So 3 lengths, 3 roof heights, and we'll also offer cutaways and chassis cabs. And we think this is really important. You know, one of the big reasons Transit has been the best-selling van, and actually we've had the best-selling vans for 42 years, is that we offer something for all the different vocations that are out there. And as we move electric, we think that's also going to be really important. And it's something that really separates the E-Transit from some of the other players that will be coming.
So, Raj, obviously the first question out of the box is range. I am a man that has range anxiety, my friend. I mean, I am a nerved up Nelly when it comes to getting behind an electric vehicle, thinking that I'm going to run out of range. So tell us about that.
Sure. It's a really important consideration for sure. And it's a key part of the decision-making process when you are looking at going electric. So the E-Transit will offer range up to 126 miles. And what's really important to understand here is that we actually analyzed over 30 million miles of telematics data from commercial customer van usage. And what we found is that the average van in the U.S. travels 74 miles a day. So with that level, 126 miles gives you plenty of additional buffer to ensure that you've got the confidence to get the job done. Certainly, there are going to be cases where, you know, customers have higher mileage needs, and then it may not be the best fit to go electric. But based on all those millions of miles of data, we're confident that the E-Transit will be a great fit for a large number of our customers.
But the Transit brand itself offers more than just electric. Clearly, you have a gasoline engine. Do you have a hybrid as well?
We don't offer a hybrid. We have gas engine options, and we have a base 3.5 liter. We offer a turbocharged GTDI for those who'd like even more power. And then we'll offer the E-Transit electric. So that will be a pretty full range offering from our perspective. Yeah. And what's really important is that we see the commercial market really heading strongly towards electric. We think it can be a really great solution. And in fact, our internal forecasts say that by the time we get to 2030, 70% of full-size bus and van sales will be electric. And that actually represents over 300,000 units a year.
So are you going to break the Transit up? Because I had a 2015 Transit, loved it, twin-turbo EcoBoost. I absolutely love the versatility of it. Is your E-Transit going to be broken up into half, three-quarter, and one-ton dual rear wheels to offer that versatility of purpose of the van as well?
So I mentioned the different configurations we'll have. Those are going to be set up in our T350 level. So we won't have the full span that we offer on the gas engine Transits, but we think we've picked all the key configurations that'll meet core customer needs.
Okay.
And a key part that we're seeing already, we've had tremendous interest. In fact, over 450 of our customers, which includes 200 of our largest customers, have already shared their purchase intentions. And it's great to see. And that's spanning over 45 different vocations. So we think we're really hitting the right mark with the product.
What is the largest customer that you have in the E's as far as interest is concerned already? Is it like plumbers, flower delivery vans? Give us an idea.
Sure. Well, there's no doubt that delivery is one of the largest segments, and that spans everything from wholesale goods to parcel delivery and everything in between. But the service and maintenance segment, which is also really key in the van business, has been a large part of the interest. So that's everyone from HVAC companies, plumbers, electricians, certainly. Telecom is a big player there. And we're also seeing a lot of interest from government. And there's certainly been a lot of push in the government space to move more towards electrification. So another key component.
I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm in the business. I know that Ford is now offering a customer service vehicle to go do maintenance services for their customer at their location. Is the E-Transit going to be a component of that? And I know those are purchased by the Ford dealer to take care of their customers. Is there going to blend E-Transit in that as well?
Well, thanks for mentioning that. It's a great part of
Very
the
much so.
service value proposition and service experience that we're delivering to our customers, the mobile maintenance program. And we're expanding that significantly this year because we know how important uptime is for our customers. And we think this is a great way to help enhance that uptime.
Oh, yeah.
And so that will be available for our E-Transit customers. Absolutely.
Okay.
And in terms of whether or not some of the dealers will want to deploy E-Transits as the actual mobile maintenance van, I think there's certainly interest there, and we'll see. Demand is going to be pretty tight, and we'll focus on trying to satisfy all of our key customers first. But the overall mobile maintenance program is a really exciting piece.
Great idea.
Yeah. Now, as far as dealer interest in this, are the E-Transit vans going to be available at all of the Ford dealers?
So all Ford dealers who are EV certified will be able to order and offer the E-Transit, and that's well over 2,000 of our dealers. And then we have our commercial vehicle centers, which have specialized expertise in our commercial vehicle lineup. We have about 645 of those dealers today, and well over 90% of them are already EV certified. So they are all set up and trained and ready to go.
All right. Well, let's talk about charging stations.
I was thinking the same thing.
So I'm just a one guy operator that makes flower deliveries. Let's use that as an example. And, I don't want to leave my van at work, at my store. I want to bring it home. Am I going to be able to have a charging station there at the house, something other than just 110?
Absolutely. And when we think about commercial charging, we look at it from a home perspective, a depot perspective, and then certainly out on the road, the public perspective. So let me start with the home that you brought up, because we think that will be a common use case for many of the smaller businesses. So we offer a Ford connected charging station that does use a 240 volt hookup, which you can easily have an electrician put in your garage or outside your house. And with that, the e-Transit will fully recharge in less than 8 hours. So no issue recharging overnight.
No, not at all.
And then if you're out on the road and you find that you need to use public charging, we offer America's largest public charging network, over 16,000 locations, and that's growing day by day. And so we have our connected navigation system, which will take you right to the nearest open chargers, and it can include availability information and such to make it really easy. So public charging is covered as well. And then for some of our larger fleets and customers who want to go depot charging, we're putting together key services to help support that action as well.
And then the e-Transit's going to have your Sync 4 in it, correct?
It does.
Yeah.
So
I love the Sync. I absolutely love the Sync in my Transit.
I'm really glad to hear that. Our teams have worked really hard to make it very user-friendly, intuitive, and offer a lot of very advanced content in an easy-to-use fashion. So what's great is the e-Transit will actually have a standard 12-inch screen. So you have a large screen to interact with. I mentioned the connected nav type features. We'll have end-to-end over-the-air updates as well, so that your software stays up to date. And then we'll be offering a full suite of telematics solutions, including the new Telematics Essentials, which is actually complementary and offers a core set of telematics tools for our customers. And then we'll have optional services that you can opt into as well that really offer advanced capabilities to help manage your fleet, and in particular, help manage some of the unique needs of the EV vehicles.
You got it covered every which way but loose.
He does.
We've been putting a lot of hard work in. We've got a fantastic team that's very excited, but we're really looking at it from the customer lens and trying to think through all of the elements that's really core to our customers and helping them make this transition. And that's what we want to do as Ford, is to really work closely with these customers, make sure that they've got everything handled to be able to make the transition to EVs successfully.
Do you still have, at one time I think it was you guys that had deals, if you will, agreements to, in the aftermarket, to build out the back of the transit van.
Upfitters.
The upfitters, yeah, that put in boxes and all the things that can go in the back of a van.
Shelves and driver protection.
Absolutely. So one of the key parts of the transit ecosystem are all the great upfitters that we partner with closely and that offer a whole range of different solutions on transit. And that's one of the fantastic parts about the e-Transit, is that all those upfits that you can do on the gas transit can be applied to the e-Transit as well. We've kept all those mounting points. The cargo area is completely unchanged. The battery is packaged all below the floor. So all those great racks and shelves and bins and all the other upfits can be applied to the e-Transit very easily.
Will you also be offering a 12 or 15 passenger like a hotel shuttle version of the e-Transit?
So we haven't announced a wagon version at this time, and so that won't
but
be
you
part
know,
of
you
the
can
immediate
tell us.
offer.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody.
We won't tell
anybody.
Yeah.
He's not going to
I
go.
appreciate that. Nothing to announce at this point.
We only have 8.2 million viewers a year.
He's been schooled by Mike Levine. I can tell that by the smile on his face.
Raj, are you calling us from Detroit? Are you in the Detroit area?
I am. So I'm outside of Dearborn. I live in Ann Arbor.
Oh, wonderful. Go blue.
Well, we got to give you a hard time. I mean, it's part of the territory.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to get a series of Ford vehicles through our connection in Dallas. A great guy that I work with up there, Ken Peabody, and he always gives me a call and says, "Listen, man, I've got this EV this, or I've got this special that. You want to take it? It's only a one vehicle." I said, "Bring it on, always."
Yeah.
Is there much shared componentry with the e-Transit with the Mach-E?
So there's similar technology. being deployed, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's part of our overall EV strategy.
Right.
Is we're looking at all the key ways to leverage building scale on key components at the cell level, at the battery level, at the drive level. And now as we really start to expand our EV portfolio, we've got really exciting news coming soon on the all-electric F-150. But that's
Want to tell us?
core part of our strategy.
Don't want to tell us yet either, huh?
No, yeah, it won't be long. I can promise you that.
We'll call you next week.
We'll have you back on for
It's a
that.
phenomenal truck. And this is a really exciting part for us in commercial, which is that we will be the first OEM or first full-line manufacturer to offer both an electric van and an electric truck. And we're covering the full span of needs with those.
So, Raj, I got to ask you, what division, if you want to call it that, within Ford Motor Company do you work? Are you in the commercial, the electric, the van? Where are you in the corporate structure there?
Yeah, so I'm the general manager of commercial marketing. So we have a commercial business unit. And so I'm responsible for all the marketing activities, the brand marketing, the product marketing within that commercial unit.
Gotcha. So you know all about all of the gasoline-powered vehicles as well. This is just one of in the portfolio.
And I know I recently heard about you're going to propose or you're releasing a F-150 police package as well. That's pretty interesting considering, the utility of a truck and a four-door truck as a police vehicle. Is that also going to go through? Because I know Michigan Highway Patrol does all the testing pretty much nationwide on police package vehicles. I'm assuming that's going to go through their hands to get their blessing on it too.
It will. So we're really excited. That's our all-new F-150 police responder. We did that reveal a little earlier this year. It is going to undergo all the key testing, both in Michigan and with LA. And we've seen some of the preliminary results. Really excited to share those as they become available. And this truck is really taking a great step forward. It has a new all-wheel drive system that really enhances the performance capabilities. And that was a big part of the focus with this vehicle because we really believe that this F-150 can start to take on a much larger role for a lot of police departments, particularly those who've got varied road and surface and terrain needs. And you're going to get a truck that has great performance on road, can transition seamlessly to all kinds of other surfaces. And as you mentioned, it's a full-size Super Cruise, so plenty of space in the cab and then plenty of space in the box. So we think a really attractive package.
Yeah.
Raj, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very informative, cool. And it's great to know all about all the stuff and even those things that we're working on at announcements that we just haven't had the time to get to today.
That's
Hardy
the
har
tease.
har. Yeah, exactly. So be sure and tell everybody up there we said hi, and particularly Mike Levine, and it's great to talk to you and hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Raj.
Thank you for having me. Great being with you guys.
Thanks again. Raj Sarkar and the Transit EV.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Very
hey,
cool.
we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for This Week in Auto History. And we're going to allow Conrad a little bit of extra time here because...
Is it that time already?
It is that time already because we're going to talk about a well-known racer back in the day.
All right.
And Bobby Unser passed away last week.
Yes.
He was born in 1934. And, the Unser family, there's Al, there's Jerry, there's Louis. The father, Bobby was the father of Robbie Unser, the uncle of Al Unser Jr. and Johnny Unser. And when you hear Unser, most people probably think IndyCar more than anything else.
Right.
But it really, that's where the family grew their fame on television. But the Unsers really were built around, the family was built around Pikes Peak. Bobby Unser was born in Colorado Springs and then moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico. but Colorado Springs and Pikes Peak was always close to his heart. At the age of 15, Bobby Unser won his first championship in the Southwest Modified Stock Car Series.
Wow.
And you'll see the car will pop up here in a second. And then from 1953 through 1955, Bobby Unser served in the U.S. Air Force and became a competition-level sharpshooter.
Huh.
Something I didn't know. As I was researching this, I learned a lot about him. In 1955, Bobby Unser debuted at Pikes Peak, which was also called Unser's Peak, and this is actually his car at Pikes Peak. Back in these days, Pikes Peak was a dirt road all the way up. He's
scary.
Yeah, very, very. I've driven it.
Oh, my.
When it was dirt, I drove it back.
In the 50s.
20 years ago.
1850s.
And, it's real scary. And thinking about they're going flat out as best they can going up the hill in
Not
some
me.
of these old funky cars. Well, he finished his first time, he finished fifth behind his two brothers. And he won his first record of 13 championships at Pikes Peak. And he won 6 years in a row from 58 through 63. And that was one of the cars he did it in right there. His streak ended in 64 when his younger brother, Al Unser, won the race. Unser also raced his first Indianapolis 500 in 1963 with the Novi. Do you know what was interesting about the Novi?
Tell me.
Four-wheel drive.
I'll be.
At
I'll be
Indy.
darned.
And he went out early with a transmission failure, so apparently the four-wheel drive system wasn't so durable.
Cool car, though.
A very, very cool car. And then he continued that year, and his first victory at Indy was at Mosport in Ontario in 1967. Unser drove one race, and this is something I didn't know, for Formula One. He drove the U.S. Grand Prix in Watkins Glen, driving a BRM. Again, I didn't realize that Unser had spent any time in F1.
His bad racing motor.
Bad racing mode, British something or other. He also, in 1969, he won his first USAC National Driving Championship. Unser won his first Indianapolis 500 in 1968, and he set a race record of over 170 miles an hour. Now, Unser was one of two drivers that won the Indianapolis 500 in 3 separate decades, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. This was his 1975 car and then his 1981 car. Now, the 1981 car was pretty interesting because that was that controversial finish of the Indy 500. He won the race, and then later that night, they called it for Mario Andretti, and it took a couple of weeks and a lot of lawsuits by the Penske organizations to give the victory back to Bobby Unser. Bobby Unser leads all-time Pikes Peak International Hill Climb champions with 10 overall wins, but 13 championships because he had some class championships in the past. He was also an IROC champion, if you remember the International Race of Champions.
Fun series.
The good series. So he was the champion of IROC back in 1975. He worked with Dan Gurney, and they developed the Gurney flap, which is that little ledge on the back of a wing. He also drove 2 full years in NASCAR, and he ran the 1969 Daytona 500 driving for Smokey Yunick. So I'm sure there was some cheating going on there.
Uh-huh.
And then after all of the issues with hold on a second. After all of the issues with the 81 Indy 500 controversy, Unser retired from racing. And when he retired from racing for the 82 model year, he started doing some work for Audi. And then in 1986, after a 12-year absence from Pikes Peak, he came back and won the event for the 10th time driving this Audi Quattro, breaking the tie he had with Uncle Lewis for the 9-time overall championships up there.
Uncle Lewis, wasn't he in vacation?
Yeah.
Christmas vacation.
Christmas vacation,
Yeah.
Uncle Lewis, come on. In 2003, Unser published a book called Winners Are Driven, A Champion's Guide to Success in Business Life. And then in 1993, he set a land speed record. You think about the variety of cars he's driven, and then he goes to Bonneville and sets a 223-mile-an-hour class land speed record with a D modified. He also became a television commentator for the Indy Racing Series.
He sure did.
After his retirement, he won 2 Emmy Awards in '89 and '90 for Outstanding Live Sports Special. And in just a summary, he was 21 years in USAC driving Indy, driving the Indy 500 19 of those years. He drove 3 years for CART, so that makes it a total of 24 years driving Indy cars. He had the 1 race for Formula One, 2 years in NASCAR. He was selected as one of Sports Illustrated top 5 athletes. He was also inducted into the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Hall of Fame, the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame, the Motorsports Hall of Fame, just overall recognizes.
And the Don Armstrong Hall of Fame.
He was also selected 4th in the greatest 33 drivers of the Indy 500. So, pretty remarkable story about Bobby Unser.
That's a full life there.
May he rest in peace.
Full racing life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Racing peace. If there is such a thing.
May he race in peace.
Race in peace. Good
He's
one.
probably on a track right now in heaven.
Yep.
Some of the stories making news this week on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Rental car companies can't get the new cars they need, so guess what? They're resorting to buying back the used cars that are at auction.
I paid $159 a day for a rent car last week in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Sir,
for one day.
They're saying what you do is you get the clause where you rent it for a week, and you get the early return clause. So you rent it for a week, and then you get the money back.
Santa Claus, because that didn't happen.
Yeah. Some of the things that I've heard, $900 a week for a rent car.
Well, that guy had looked at that.
The semiconductor shortage has slashed vehicle production so much that rental car companies can't get the new cars that they need, so they've resorted to buying used vehicles at auction. The demand is sending used car costs soaring. The Manheim Index, which measures prices at wholesale auctions, shows they're 52% higher than they were a year ago.
They also do heavy transport construction stuff because they have a Mannheim steamroller.
That's jocularity right there. That's
and
full-blown
they also
jocularity.
have a great band. Just had to
Full-blown
throw that in
jocularity.
there.
That was awesome. I heard in Hawaii that they're renting moving vehicles, like U-Hauls.
Yeah, you can get a
As a
U-Haul
rental
truck for like $29.95 a day.
Why did you get a U-Haul truck from California?
No.
In Hawaii, they're doing. I didn't say
Get
it.
the
No.
pickup.
In Hawaii, that was the thing going on. Where you couldn't get a rental car, so you do a U-Haul. All right.
Anyhow.
Are we done now?
No, we're never done.
We're bickering.
We're over.
We are bickering. Yes, and we do that quite frequently, don't we? All right. Well, that's it for this hour of the In Wheel Time Car Show. We have hour number 3 just ahead.
Whether you own a newer car or want to keep your older one humming along for a while longer, think of Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln to keep things in tip-top shape. From oil changes to major repairs, you can depend on the highly skilled service pros at Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevrolet, and Bayway Lincoln to perform fast, efficient service to keep your investment running strong. For all your service needs, remember Bayway. Schedule your next appointment online anytime. Bayway, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, May 15th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone's invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, tailpipes and tacos. Saturday, May 15th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, May 15th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy, weather permitting.
NHRA Camping World Drag Racing. It's an 11,000 horsepower Nitro Rodeo coming to Houston Raceway Park in Baytown. Catch all the Nitro and Pro stock action at the Mopar Expressway NHRA Spring Nationals presented by Pennzoil, May 21st through 23rd. Matt Hagan, Leah Pruitt, Erica Enders, 3-time world champ Steve Thorns, and 16-time himself John Force. Kids 12 and under are free in general admission. Get tickets at HoustonRaceway.com. Houston's got horsepower.
Don't miss the first ever Houston Summer Auto Show, May 19th through the 23rd at NRG Center. A limited edition collection of your favorite brands and models, including the new Ford Bronco and Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Tickets online only at HoustonAutoShow.com.